if I'm trying to shoot 80, I start counting how many strokes backwards and how many holes I can, like, what I have to shoot, right?
Future tripping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And it's such a bad habit of mine.
Sure.
Because then all of a sudden you're in your own head on every single shot. Like, yes, you can play a little bit more aggressive, but is that realistic to think you're going to hit, a 7-iron 175 yards when you know you have to get over water? Probably not. How do you avoid that? Because right now I'm thinking, all right, to reach my goal, I've got to birdie the next two. How do I just stay in my process and say, just take one shot at a time?
Yeah, well, I think the first step, the important part is that you're aware of it.
Yeah.
You realize it's an issue. I do two things. Write down a commitment before the round to what you can control. You can actually create a scoring system based on this.
Okay.
So what you can do before your next round is, this round of golf, I'm going to judge my score on how well I held this commitment.
Okay.
And in your case, the commitment could be not worrying about the past, not future tripping, worrying about the future holes. Just your goal for this round is to stay present.
Okay.
It's it's a cliche for a reason.
Yeah.
It's the one shot at a time. But make that a commitment. You can even make your own scoring system.
Okay.
And literally base your round off of
that.
How well you didn't look too much into the past or too much into the future, counting holes, how many shots, this and that.
Yeah.
And then base your round off that and stay committed to that scoring system. So it doesn't matter if you played well and shot 77 or 87. Your scoring system is based on purely that commitment.
Okay.
I usually do a 1 to 10, meaning 1, I was terrible at it, didn't do it at all. 10 was, I didn't look into the past or the future one time.
I love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can start practicing it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that mentally. It puts me into a anxious spot when I'm starting to think, well, I wanted to play at this score, and then it's like, I know I'm not going to do that unless this. It's like, just play the round, man. It puts so much anxiety on every single shot and every single hole, and then by the hole 12, you realize you're not going to reach your goal, and you're just kind of like, now you're playing loose.
Yep.
And now you start actually playing better because you're out of your own head because you know you're not going to achieve that goal you set out.
I won't play a single round of golf without a commitment.
Yeah.
I learned that 2 years ago. I wish I would have learned it earlier.
Yeah.
Mine's usually, I don't mind sharing mine, mine's usually staying present.
Yeah.
You think about it, we're out here for average round of golf, 4.5 hours?
Yeah.
What are you doing 90% of the time you're not playing golf? So it's hard.
Yeah.
You're only over the ball hitting it, and then you have your pre-swing and post-swing phases of the shot.
Man, it's interesting to think about.
It's like baseball, right?
Yeah.
I heard baseball, the ball's only in play like at 7 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So you look at golf the same way. You got to start thinking about the 90% of time you're actually not playing.
Yeah.
So mine will usually be staying present in between the shots. I've heard, I know it sounds kind of cheesy and tree huggy. It could be, your commitment could be being a good playing partner.
Yeah.
Something not even golf related.
Interesting.
It could be something a bit more golf related. I'm gonna make sure I'm holding my attention over the shot.
Yeah.
It could be getting better at the reaction after the shot. But make that little 1 to 10 scoring system. You can even go into it a bit more and make it a 1 through 18 scoring system and go hole by hole.
Well, I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's like you can walk away from each hole saying, all right, instead of just counting putts, which you obviously, a lot of, myself included, a lot of guys do, where it's like, all right, 2 putted this, 3 putted this, 1 putted this, whatever throughout, and you count that up at the end of the round. I think it's like, all right, if you have a 1 to 10 system and on this specific hole, I can look back, maybe I can make a note of what it was, but I didn't do my job. It was number 2 because I thought about the tee shot so much before I got to that second shot that it royally screwed me the rest of the hole and, just didn't stay focused. So
Totally. Well, I'll show you how to do it on the scorecard right here, really quick. I actually prefer this out over the 1 through 10. Say I'm going, okay, there's my, say first hole, say I made a bogey, okay? So write down my 5, and I'll either do an X or a check mark on that hole when I get done playing on, we'll say my commitment was being present. And if I wasn't present that hole for every shot or in between shots, if I wasn't, I'll give it an X. Then on to the next hole. If I was able to make a par and I did a good job being present, well then I'll give myself a check mark. And I just go hole by hole, and then I'll actually total up my check marks through 18 or after 18, and then I'll write down that number in my journal. As good players always journal their stats and what they're practicing on, so they know what they need to get better at, and I'll just use that as my ranking system.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.